What if the person you keep begging Allah to keep is the very person Allah, in His mercy, is trying to remove from your life? Some hearts cry when people leave, not realizing they were slowly losing themselves while that person stayed. You called it love, but every day your peace became weaker. Your heart became heavier. Your smile became rarer. And the painful truth is this: sometimes heartbreak is not punishment. Sometimes it is Allah rescuing you from a future that would have wounded you far more. Sometimes the door that closed was the door that would have destroyed your peace. Stay until the end, because this message may reveal the truth your heart has been afraid to accept, and the healing Allah wants for you next. 1. When they enter your life, your peace quietly begins to leave. One of the clearest signs about a person is not how attractive they seem, not how charming they sound, and not how much attention they give you in the beginning. The real sign is what happens to your inner peace when they come close. Some people enter your life and bring calmness. They make your heart feel lighter. Their presence feels honest, gentle, and safe. You do not feel the need to guess their intentions. You do not feel mentally tired after speaking to them. You feel respected. You feel emotionally settled. Even silence with them feels comfortable. That is the kind of presence that carries goodness. But some people bring the opposite. The moment they enter your life, stress quietly enters with them. Your thoughts become restless. Your chest feels heavy. Your mood changes without warning. You begin checking your phone too often. You overthink small things they said. You wonder where you stand. You feel anxious when they are distant and confused when they are close. You start worrying more than smiling. You begin doubting yourself. You ask questions like, am I asking too much? Am I the problem? Why do I feel so unsettled all the time? This is important to understand, because Allah did not create love to feel like constant confusion. Yes, every relationship has tests. Every bond requires patience, understanding, and effort. But there is a difference between normal challenges and ongoing emotional chaos. There is a difference between working through problems and slowly losing your peace. If someone always brings drama, fear, mixed signals, and emotional exhaustion, while giving very little honesty, care, or stability in return, that is not something to ignore. Many people stay because they keep remembering the good moments. They think, maybe things will improve. Maybe if I love harder, become softer, stay patient longer, it will change. But sometimes the issue is not your patience. Sometimes the issue is the person. The heart often feels danger before the mind understands it. Your soul can sense what your eyes still want to deny. That heaviness you feel may not be weakness. That discomfort may not be overthinking. That loss of peace may be a warning. Allah may already be showing you through your restless heart that this person is not right for your life. Not everyone who enters your story is meant to stay in it, and not everyone you desire is good for your future. Sometimes the first mercy from Allah is not removing them immediately. It is removing your peace, so you finally notice the truth. 2. Their words sound sweet, but their actions keep breaking you. One of the most painful traps a heart can fall into is loving someone who speaks beautifully, but lives carelessly. Some people know exactly how to use words. They know when to sound soft. They know when to apologize. They know when to promise change. They know when to say, I miss you, I care about you, you matter to me, or I will do better. And for a moment, Your heart relaxes. You think maybe this time is different. Maybe now they understand your pain. Maybe now things will finally become better. So you forgive again. You trust again. You open your heart again. But then the same story returns. The same distance. The same disrespect. The same silence. The same lies. The same coldness after warm words. The same wound wearing a different face. This is how many people stay stuck for years. Not because they are weak, but because words keep feeding hope, while actions keep creating pain. And hope can make a person ignore what is obvious. You remember the sweet messages. You remember the kind moments. You remember what they said they wanted to become. But you must learn this truth. A person is not who they promise to be. A person is who they repeatedly choose to be. Anyone can speak well in an emotional moment. Anyone can cry after hurting you. Anyone can say sorry when they feel they are losing access to you. Anyone can promise forever when they fear goodbye. But real sincerity is not found in emotional speeches. It is found in consistent behavior. It is found in respect when no one is watching. It is found in honesty when lying would be easier. It is found in effort without being begged. It is found in change without repeated warnings. Islam teaches us to value truth, character, and trustworthiness. Beautiful speech means little when it is not supported by clean actions. Even Shaitan whispers attractively. So never judge only by how something sounds. Judge by what it produces in your life. If their words comfort you for 1 hour, but their actions break you for weeks, that is not love. That is emotional confusion. If they keep making promises but never building peace, that is not commitment. That is delay. If they know your pain, yet continue causing it, that is not care. And that is selfishness wearing kind language. Sometimes Allah allows you to hear the sweet words, so you can compare them with the bitter reality. Because contrast reveals truth. He lets the pattern repeat until your heart becomes wise enough to stop listening only with emotion. Do not fall in love with potential while reality keeps hurting you. Do not hold on to sentences while your peace is being destroyed. Do not call it patience when you're being broken by the same cycle. There is someone whose words and actions match. Someone whose promises feel safe because their character supports them. Someone whose presence heals more than it harms. But before that person enters your life, you may need to stop confusing sweet talk with sincerity. So if their words sound beautiful, but their actions keep breaking your heart, Allah may already be showing you the truth you have been avoiding. 3. You keep chasing what should have flowed naturally. One of the saddest things a person can experience is giving everything to something that keeps asking for more while giving almost nothing back. You keep trying. You keep reaching out first. You keep starting conversations. You keep fixing misunderstandings. You keep making excuses for their silence. You keep lowering your expectations just to keep the connection alive. You keep telling yourself, relationships take effort, and that is true. Every meaningful relationship needs patience, communication, sacrifice, and care. But there is a difference between healthy effort and one-sided chasing. There is a difference between building together and carrying everything alone. Some people stay in painful situations because they think struggle always means love. They believe if it feels hard, it must be valuable. If they have to suffer for it, it must be real. But not every difficult connection is deep. Some are simply draining. Some are only confusing because they were never balanced. When something is meant to grow in a healthy way, there is movement from both sides. There is mutual care. There is natural interest. There is respect without begging. There is effort without constant reminders. There is communication that does not feel forced. There is space to breathe. There is peace even during challenges. But when you are chasing someone who only moves when you pull them, you become tired in ways words cannot explain. You start losing yourself. Your mood depends on their replies. Your confidence depends on their attention. Your peace depends on whether they choose you that day. This is dangerous because no human being should hold that much power over your emotional state. Love should never make you abandon yourself. If you are always wondering when they will text, always waiting for effort, always proving your worth, always trying to be enough, then pause and ask yourself honestly, why must I chase what claims to want me? Why must I beg for what should be given freely? Why am I carrying a bond that two people were supposed to hold together? Sometimes we chase because we fear losing them. Sometimes we chase because we think being chosen will heal our wounds. Sometimes we chase because we confuse attachment with destiny. But what Allah writes for you does not need endless humiliation to stay alive. Yes, timing can be delayed. Yes, people can grow slowly. Yes, relationships can face tests. But what is truly good for you will not require you to destroy your dignity just to keep it breathing. You should not have to shrink yourself to be loved. You should not have to suffer daily for simple kindness. You should not have to chase breadcrumbs and call it a feast. Sometimes Allah lets you become exhausted, not to punish you, but to wake you up. He lets the running tire your soul, so you finally stop. He lets the emptiness remain, so you realize no amount of effort can fill a place that was never ready to receive you. And when you finally stop chasing, you begin healing. You begin remembering your value. You begin returning to yourself. You begin trusting that what is written for you will recognize your worth without being hunted. The right connection may still need patience, but it will not make you feel unwanted every day. It will not make love feel like begging. It will not make you lose yourself while trying to hold on to it. So if you keep chasing what should have flowed naturally, Allah may be showing you that the problem is not your effort. The problem is where you are placing it. 4. Every time you leave them, your heart feels heavier. There are some people who do not hurt you loudly. They hurt you quietly. They smile, but leave sadness behind. They speak kindly, but create confusion inside you. They stay near, yet make you feel alone. And one of the clearest signs of this kind of connection is what happens after you leave them. You talk to them. Then your heart feels heavy. You spend time with them. Then your chest feels tight. You see them. Then your mind becomes restless for hours. You leave the conversation, but carry emotional weight long after it ends. This feeling is real. Many people ignore it because nothing dramatic happened. There was no big argument, no shouting, no clear betrayal, no obvious reason to explain the pain. But not all damage arrives through loud moments. Some damage comes through repeated small wounds, through mixed signals, through emotional distance, through feeling unseen, through giving love but never feeling safe, through always hoping for warmth and receiving crumbs. That kind of pain is slow, and because it is slow, many people stay trapped in it. They say, maybe I'm too sensitive. Maybe I'm expecting too much. Maybe I just need patience. But patience should not feel like carrying stones in your chest every day. A healthy connection may have problems, but it should not repeatedly leave your soul exhausted. Think about the people who are good for you. After speaking with them, you often feel lighter. You feel heard. You feel calmer. You feel respected. Even if they correct you, it comes with sincerity. Even if there is a problem, there is still peace. But when someone is wrong for your heart, their presence often creates the opposite. You feel drained. You feel anxious. You feel emotionally hungry. You keep thinking about what they meant, why they changed, whether they care, if you said something wrong. You become tired from questions that should not exist in real love. This is because not every connection feeds the soul. Some only feed attachment. Attachment makes you crave them. But peace never grows there. You miss them, yet feel worse with them. You want them, yet feel broken around them. You run back to them, then leave heavier every time. This is one of the most painful traps a person can enter. Mistaking emotional addiction for love. Mistaking anxiety for passion. Mistaking heaviness for depth. But true care does not constantly darken your heart. True love does not make you lose yourself after every meeting. True connection does not leave you carrying invisible pain again and again. Allah created the heart with signs. Sometimes the heart becomes heavy because it is holding what does not belong there. Sometimes sadness after seeing someone is not random emotion. It is guidance. It is your soul reacting to what your eyes still want. It is mercy warning you before greater damage comes. Many people ask Allah for signs, while ignoring the feelings He already placed inside them. That discomfort, that repeated sadness, that heaviness after every interaction, those may be answers you already received, and sometimes Allah does not remove the person immediately. He allows the heaviness to continue until you finally understand that some people are not punishment. They are lessons. So if every time you leave them, your heart feels heavier, do not ignore that feeling. Your heart may be telling you what your mind is afraid to accept, and Allah may already be showing you that peace cannot grow where your soul keeps getting wounded. 5. You keep ignoring red flags because you're afraid to lose them. Sometimes the truth is not hidden at all. Sometimes the signs were clear from the beginning. You noticed the inconsistency. You saw how their words changed, depending on what they wanted. You felt the coldness after moments of closeness. You recognized the disrespect hidden behind jokes. You saw the selfishness. You noticed how they only gave effort when they felt you slipping away. You felt the uneasiness in your chest more than once. You knew something was wrong, but you stayed. Not because the signs were missing, but because fear was louder than truth. This is where many hearts suffer. They do not stay because they are happy. They stay because they are afraid. Afraid to lose the person. Afraid to start over. Afraid to be alone. Afraid no one else will come. Afraid they already invested too much time. Afraid that walking away means failure. So they silence their own wisdom. They ignore what hurts them. They excuse what should never be excused. They lower their standards. They call pain patience. They call confusion love. They call waiting loyalty. And slowly, they betray themselves just to keep someone else. This is one of the deepest forms of heartbreak. When someone else hurts you, that pain is heavy. But when you help them hurt you by ignoring the truth, the wound goes even deeper. Because now you are not only losing peace, you are losing yourself. Many people think the problem is attachment, but often the real problem is fear. Fear can make a person stay in places that are already breaking them. Fear can make lies look small. Fear can make disrespect feel normal. Fear can make loneliness seem worse than suffering. But listen carefully. Being alone for a season is not the worst thing. Being with the wrong person while feeling alone every day is far worse. Starting over is not the worst thing. Staying where your heart is shrinking is far worse. Losing someone is not always tragedy. Sometimes losing them is rescue. Allah often places signs in front of us long before the ending arrives. He lets you notice patterns. He lets your heart feel discomfort. He lets truth appear in small moments. Why? Because Allah is merciful. He warns before He removes. He teaches before He closes the door. He gives clarity before separation. But many people keep asking for another sign, when the real issue is not lack of signs. It is lack of courage. Courage to admit, this is hurting me. Courage to say, I deserve honesty. Courage to walk away from what looks good but feels wrong. Courage to trust Allah more than your fear. Sometimes you're not waiting on them to change. You are waiting for yourself to become brave enough to leave. And when that day comes, everything changes. Your mind becomes clearer. Your heart becomes lighter. Your prayers become deeper. Your self-respect returns. Your peace starts rebuilding. Because the moment you stop ignoring red flags is often the moment healing begins. Do not be ashamed that fear kept you there. Many hearts have lived this lesson, but do not let fear keep you there forever. What Allah has written for you will never require you to abandon your dignity. What is truly meant for you will not need endless excuses to survive. So if you keep ignoring red flags because you are afraid to lose them, ask yourself one honest question. How much of yourself have you already lost by staying? Sometimes the person you fear losing is the very person blocking the life Allah is trying to give you. 6. Instead of bringing you closer to Allah, they pull you away. Not every harmful person destroys your life through open cruelty. Some people do it quietly. They do not need to insult you. They do not need to betray you loudly. They do not need to openly tell you to leave your faith. Sometimes they simply become the center of your heart, and that alone begins to damage you. You start thinking about them more than you think about Allah. You check your phone more than you check your soul. You wait for their message more than you wait for prayer. Your mood rises when they give attention and falls when they become distant. Their silence controls your peace. Their approval controls your confidence. Their presence controls your emotions. And slowly, without realizing it, they begin sitting in a place inside your heart that belongs only to Allah. This is dangerous because anything placed above Allah in the heart will eventually wound the heart. Many people think the problem is love, but love is not the problem. The problem is when attachment becomes worship, when a person becomes your emotional qibla, when your heart turns toward them for value, security, identity, and peace more than it turns toward Allah. That is when suffering begins. You delay salah because your mind is distracted. You make dua, but only about them. You open your phone before opening the Quran. You spend hours overthinking their behavior, but minutes reflecting on your own soul. You cry over their distance while becoming distant from your Lord. And Shaitan loves this kind of distraction because he knows he does not always need to make people hate religion. Sometimes he only needs to make them obsessed with someone. Sometimes he only needs to fill the heart with a person until there is no room left for peace. The right person does not replace your connection with Allah. They strengthen it. They remind you to pray. They respect your boundaries. They bring calmness, not chaos. They make halal feel beautiful. They encourage growth, honesty, modesty, patience, and gratitude. They do not compete with your deen. They help protect it. Even when they are imperfect, their presence still pushes you toward what is better. But the wrong person often creates the opposite. You become anxious. You become jealous. You become emotionally unstable. You neglect responsibilities. You lose discipline. You feel spiritually dry. You know your heart is becoming weaker, yet you keep calling it love. But if someone keeps taking you away from salah, away from peace, away from self-respect, away from Allah, then what exactly are they giving you? Attention is not the same as goodness. Chemistry is not the same as blessing. Desire is not the same as destiny. Strong feelings are not always signs from Allah. Sometimes they are tests. Sometimes Allah allows a person to enter your life so you can see what was hidden inside you. Your attachment, your emotional dependence, your fear of being alone, your tendency to seek from people what should be sought from Him. And this lesson can save your life, because once you understand it, you stop chasing people who make you spiritually weaker. You stop confusing obsession with love. You stop calling pain a blessing. You begin asking a better question. Not, do I want them? But do they bring me closer to Allah or farther away? That question reveals many truths. Some people are attractive to the eyes, but harmful to the soul. Some people feel exciting, but empty your heart. Some people enter beautifully, but leave damage everywhere. Allah sometimes lets your peace disappear so you can notice where your heart has gone. He lets the emptiness grow so you remember only He can fill it. He lets the attachment hurt so you return to the one who never abandons you. So if instead of bringing you closer to Allah, they keep pulling you away, do not ignore that sign. The person who is truly good for your future will not need you to lose your deen in order to keep them. What Allah writes for you will never require distance from Him. And sometimes the greatest mercy is not getting the person you wanted. It is being saved from the person who was slowly taking you away from your Lord. 7. No matter how much you deny it, the truth keeps returning. There are some truths you can delay, but you cannot bury. You can distract yourself, you can stay busy, or you can laugh with others. You can tell yourself everything is fine. You can make excuses for them again and again. You can say, maybe I misunderstood. You can say, maybe they are just stressed. You can say, maybe I am expecting too much. You can even convince yourself for a little while that nothing is wrong. But then the feeling returns. The heaviness returns. The questions return. The same uneasy silence returns. The same pattern returns. The same wound returns wearing a different face. And suddenly you realize what you called confusion was not confusion at all. It was truth trying to reach you. Many people suffer because they keep fighting what their heart already knows. They keep trying to protect a false picture of someone. Why do they keep loving who they hoped the person would become, while ignoring who they keep showing themselves to be? They keep holding onto memories, while reality keeps changing in front of them. This is exhausting, because denial always costs energy. Pretending not to see drains the soul. Acting unbothered while hurting inside slowly breaks the heart. Smiling outside while grieving inside creates a silent pain few people understand. And this is why the truth keeps returning. Because truth does not disappear just because it is uncomfortable. Reality does not change because you are emotionally attached. A pattern does not become healthy because you are patient with it. Some people think repeated discomfort means they are overthinking. But often repeated discomfort means something is unresolved. It means your soul is reacting to what your mind keeps avoiding. It means Allah is allowing the signs to repeat until you become honest with yourself. Maybe you forgave them, but the disrespect happened again. Maybe you trusted them, but the lies returned again. Maybe you tried to move on, but another sign appeared again. Maybe you defended them, but your peace disappeared again. How many times must the same lesson knock before it is finally welcomed? Allah is most merciful, and part of His mercy is that He does not always let us remain comfortable inside illusions. He lets reality return in small moments. A sentence they say, a behavior they repeat, a coldness you feel, a heaviness after seeing them, a prayer where your heart suddenly knows the answer. He lets truth come back quietly, until one day it becomes too clear to deny. Sometimes we ask Allah for a sign, while ignoring the 10 signs already given. Sometimes we ask for clarity, while refusing to accept what has already been shown. Sometimes we ask why we feel restless, when the restlessness itself is the answer. The truth keeps returning because it wants to free you. It wants to save your peace. It wants to stop the cycle. It wants to pull you out of emotional blindness. It wants to return you to yourself. Do not fear truth because it hurts. Fear the lie that keeps you trapped. Truth may make you cry for a season, but denial can make you suffer for years. Truth may close one door, but denial can keep you locked in the wrong room. Truth may break your attachment, but denial can break your spirit. There comes a moment when healing begins. It is the moment you stop asking, "Why does this keep happening?" and start asking, "Why do I keep ignoring what this is showing me?" That question changes everything, because once you become honest, peace begins to return. Once you accept reality, confusion begins to die. Once you stop protecting the illusion, Allah opens space for something real. So if no matter how much you deny it, the truth keeps returning. Do not see that as punishment. See it as mercy. Allah may be sending the same message again and again, because He loves you too much to let you stay lost. 8. Losing them may be Allah's way of helping you find yourself. Many people believe the worst pain in life is losing someone they deeply wanted. They think the greatest tragedy is being left behind, and they think the hardest ending is watching someone walk away. And yes, losing someone can hurt deeply. It can shake your heart. It can leave silence where hope once lived. It can make ordinary days feel heavy. It can make nights feel longer than they used to. But sometimes, losing them is not the deepest loss. Sometimes the deepest loss is what happens while trying to keep the wrong person. You lose your peace. You lose your confidence. You lose your joy. You lose your focus. You lose your standards. You lose your closeness to Allah. You lose the version of yourself that once felt calm, secure, and alive. And slowly, without noticing, you become a stranger to yourself. This is why some people cry over a breakup, while not realizing they were already breaking long before the ending came. And the separation only revealed what the relationship had been doing in silence. Many hearts beg Allah to keep someone, while Allah is trying to save them from what that person is costing them. You ask for their return. Allah sees your exhaustion. You ask for one more chance. Allah sees the damage hidden behind your desire. You ask for the door to stay open. Allah sees that door leading you farther from peace. And because He knows what you cannot see, He closes it. At first it feels cruel. It feels like rejection. It feels like punishment. It feels like everything you wanted was taken away. But later, sometimes much later, you understand it was protection. You realize that if they stayed, you would have continued shrinking. You would have continued doubting yourself. You would have continued begging for things that should have been natural. You would have continued calling pain love. You would have continued abandoning yourself to keep someone else comfortable. And Allah loved you too much to allow that story to continue forever. Some endings are not losses. They are rescues wearing the clothes of heartbreak. Some goodbyes are not destruction. They are divine redirection. Some tears are not weakness. They are cleansing. Some loneliness is not emptiness. It is space being prepared for healing. When the wrong person leaves, something important becomes possible again. You can hear yourself. You can think clearly. You can rebuild your self-worth. You can return to prayer with sincerity. You can sleep without emotional chaos. You can remember who you were before confusion became normal. You can become stronger, wiser, softer, and closer to Allah than you were before they came. Sometimes the person you lost was never your future. They were only your lesson. A lesson in boundaries. A lesson in self-respect. A lesson in attachment. A lesson in trusting Allah when the heart disagrees. A lesson in knowing that not every desire is a blessing. And once the lesson is learned, the person is no longer needed. This is why some people disappear the moment you begin healing, because they were tied to a chapter, not your destiny. Do not think your life ended because someone left. Sometimes life begins after the wrong person exits. Do not think being alone means you failed. Sometimes solitude is where Allah rebuilds broken hearts with His own mercy. Do not think losing them means nothing better exists. Means often what is written for you cannot enter while your hands are still clinging to what was never yours. What Allah truly wrote for you will not require you to destroy yourself to keep it. It will not ask you to trade your peace for presents. It will not demand that you lose your dignity to feel chosen. It will arrive with clarity, not confusion, with steadiness, not chaos, with mercy, not constant wounds. So if you lost them, and it still hurts, cry if you need to. Heal slowly if you must. Miss what you hoped for if your heart still does. But do not call every closed door a tragedy. Some closed doors are answers. Some endings are blessings that first arrive in painful form. And some people leave your life only because Allah is making room for the person you become next. Maybe losing them was never the end of your story. Maybe it was Allah's way of helping you find the self you were losing. Maybe it was the moment He removed what was hurting you, so He could return you to yourself. Trust this with all your heart. What leaves by Allah's permission may wound you for a season, but what He saves you from can bless you for a lifetime. Maybe this pain was never sent to destroy you. Maybe it was sent to wake you up. Maybe the person you kept crying over was never the real loss. Maybe losing yourself was. And maybe Allah, in His mercy, refused to let that happen any longer. One day, you will look back at everything that broke your heart and thank Allah for what He did not allow to stay. You will understand why certain doors closed, why certain people changed, why certain prayers were delayed, why your heart had to feel pain before it found peace, because sometimes Allah removes what you love. to give you what you truly need. And what is truly written for you will never need confusion to survive. It will never cost your dignity. It will never steal your peace every day. It will come with clarity. It will come with ease. It will come at the right time, after the wrong attachments have fallen away. So do not fear what left. Do not chase what keeps hurting you. Do not believe this ending means your story is over. Some of the most beautiful chapters begin after the hardest goodbye. Keep trusting Allah. Keep healing quietly. Keep becoming the person you were meant to be. Because what Allah has planned for you may be far better than what you begged Him for. And one day soon, your heart will smile again for reasons you cannot yet see. If this message touched your heart, write Alhamdulillah in the comments. If you are healing from something Allah removed, write Allah knows best. Share this reminder with someone who may need comfort today, and subscribe for more peaceful Islamic reminders that heal the heart and bring you closer to Allah.